Hello, you guys. Thank you so much for coming back. I know that it's been a minute, but I promise y'all I have something great to share, and I cannot wait for this to come out to you guys. So here we go. By the name of this title, you know exactly what we're going to be talking about today. That is the miracle of your belief. So, over these past 2 weeks, I know that I haven't been, very active and stuff with putting out my videos and making sure that they get to you guys every other day. I've really just taken some time out to just listen from God, listen to God, talk to Him, and just really just come into this agreement with Him. He knows what He's doing, letting go and just letting Him take control. And it's been amazing. So, this topic was kind of just laid onto my heart today. I've been reading this book. It's called The Game of Life. I'll be sure to link it down for you guys. It's called The Game of Life and How to Play It. And it's by this woman, and she wrote it in like the 1900s or something like that. What she is talking about is so real, is so true. And it just gave me shakes. It was given to me as a gift from my mom. And I'm just so happy that she gave it to me because it just opened my whole just world about how we are and what we're living for. The reason why the title is named The Miracle of Belief is because I feel like a lot of us don't know that we have the power to do anything. I'm very close with God, and lately I've just been asking Him and asking Him and asking Him. I know that I have victory. I know that you made a path for me. I know that you've cleared my path. I know that you're here. I know that the end goal in this life is for me to see you. And I know that I will see you and I will live with you forever. But I'm having a hard time here in life. Like, I'm having a hard time living. I'm having a hard time seeing your promises because, what I see, what I hear on earth, it weighs so heavy on me, on my heart, on my mind. I feel so much pressure and tension here. How do I walk in your victory? How do I walk in knowing that what's for me is for me? How do I walk in knowing that everything is working for my goodness? Like, how do I just walk in that? I always ask hard questions that you won't get from church, you won't get from a book. Like, I ask God, how am I supposed to do this? You know what I mean? And I expect no one else to tell me but Him. He's just been weighing heavy on my heart, with my heart. A lot of us think that the mind is everything. It takes you places, and that is true, But God really showed me that your heart is very powerful as well. Whatever you desire, you get. Let's say if I wanted this car. Well, if I want it so badly and if I desire it so much, I'm going to get the car. No matter what I do, no matter how I get it, I'm going to get the car because I'm set on getting that car. That's how I feel like the heart and the mind works. The heart desires it. And because the heart desires it, the mind gets to it. Like the post that I made the other day is the heart points you to it, but the mind gets you to it. From the mind, that's when you're intentional. That's when you're motivated. That's when you're onto something bigger than yourself. I literally felt like God was talking to me through the book. And it was just talking about how anything you want, you have. You have all that you want. My issue is that I felt like I had to see it. I felt like I had to feel it. I felt like I had to taste it. To get it. I had no faith. A lot of us like to preach that we have faith and that we have this desire to do all that we want. But do we really, if we're not really stepping out on them, even if what we see right now going on is total, like it goes totally against to what we want? I wasn't fully believing that everything God had for me was for me. One day I strive to be a speaker that gets in front of people millions of people and that preaches the word and teaches the word. I feel like a lot of people are saved, but a lot of people aren't free. Freedom and being saved, it goes hand in hand. What's the point of being saved if I'm not free? Like, that's the point of being saved here on earth, because there's so much bondage here. It's so much fear here. It's so much lack here. It's so much darkness here. That's the most amazing thing about being a believer, is because I'm free. I'm free from all of that. So, yes, my issue is that I had a hard time believing that what was for me was for me, because I was so moved and so troubled and so disturbed by what was going on around me that I couldn't really just set my eyes on what's for me. Well, the book really, really did break down how you believe. So it was very interesting, and how I took it as is that you believe by preparing yourself. And if you guys ever have a chance to read it, you will think that this woman is absolutely crazy, because it's like issues with money in the book. And I guess she was a counselor and she used to counsel people. And they would say, I don't have enough money for this. I don't have enough money for that. I'm struggling in this area. And she would say, hey, look at yourself in the mirror. Tell yourself, I have this money. It's mine. I have no lack. And now I'm about to be free from this. And they went in, and for them to believe in it, she wanted them, I know you don't have the money right now, but because you believe that you have the money, I want you to go out tonight and go sit at a restaurant, go out to eat, pick the most expensive meal that you can and do it, and see how God provides. And it's crazy because every situation God provided. From the time that I was young, my mom always had these big, bright ideas, and she always prepared herself for them. So I remember we used to live in this tiny house. And my mom was like, we're going to get this house. This house was 4 bedrooms. It was huge, almost a mansion of some sort. We're getting this house. And how she prepared and how she believed in herself is she went out and she bought furniture. She bought furniture for this house that probably wasn't in our budget, that probably, was going to be looked at with other people who could afford it. And here my mom is, planning and preparing our life in this house. And we ended up getting the house. It's just crazy the way that God works. And it just made me think that we really live in an illusion of a world. We really live based off of what we see. I was telling my mom today on the phone, God forbid, if we was to find out that we had cancer, what would we do right now? We would freak out. I know so many stories of people who got told that they had cancer. 2 years later, they say, hey, we've mistaken. Either you don't have cancer at all, or we made a mistake. And it's like the fear, like if God has called us all to be healed, all to be loved, all to be powerful and mighty, why can't we believe that, even if all odds are against us? I even think about the woman in the Bible, when she had the issue of blood and bleeding, and she bled for 12 years, and she went to all kind of doctors, all kind of people to help heal her, and they actually made it worse. And one day she heard that Jesus was in town, and when Jesus passed her, all she did was touch a piece of his garment. I feel God right now. It's so shaky. But all she did was touch a piece of his garment, and he turned around and he said, who touched me? Because he felt something leave his body. And at first she didn't want to say anything at all, but she said, me, I touched you. And he said, and before she could even, and I realized in that passage, before she even realized that she would have been healed, he told her. So it makes me wonder, like, she was healed because God told her she was healed. He said, by your faith, you are healed. So she wasn't seeing to believe, she was believing to see. The thing about us as Christians, as people in this world, we have no faith. We have no faith if we're watching the news all the time, if we're running crazy, if we don't have self-control within ourselves, if we don't have patience. Like, this world is meant, and it thrives off of putting you in a box. And the box is fear. Tell me that we don't live in a world of fear. You got diseases, you got cancers, you got STDs, you got it's so many things to fear from, y'all. You can even fear your animal. If your animal licks on something outside, it comes home to you, lick on you, and you lose all of your limbs and all of your body parts because of a dog. Like, we're all conditioned to live in fear, and all it does is keep us in the box. Keeps us in the box. We get weary, we have anxiety, we have panic attacks. Like, we're not meant to live like this. I just really had to come on here and share that because it opened my eyes. It let me see something for really what it was. You guys have to understand that this world is not our world. You know, if you believe in Jesus, you know that Satan is control of this world. This is his world. So us as being believers, we're rare. We're rare people. And by us showing our freedom and showing who we are and whose we are, we get to influence other people who may not, believe that there is a God. I just really just wanted to say that. I hope the video wasn't too long. I hope it wasn't too bad. You guys just stay up, stay lifted, stay encouraged because, we are really at an age where the more knowledge we have, the more responsibility we have. It's not okay for us to just know these things and not act on it. You know what I mean? If we know it, we have to speak up, seek help, do what we need to do. Thank y'all for your time. It was amazing speaking to you guys. And until then, see y'all later. Peace. Bye.